Have you ever wondered why, after a certain age, the things that once seemed so important just stop mattering? What if all the stress, the chasing, the worrying about others' opinions, you could finally let it go? If you're 75 or older, or approaching that milestone, this video is made for you. Because after 75, life changes in profound ways, and so does what truly brings us peace and joy. In the next few minutes, I'll share 9 powerful shifts, things people stop caring about because they no longer serve their happiness, health, or sense of self. You'll hear stories of real people who've discovered how to live lighter, freer, and more authentic lives by letting go of outdated worries like impressing others, pretending everything's fine, or holding on to toxic relationships and clutter. Why watch this video until the end? These insights can help you reclaim your time, your peace, and your joy. You'll learn how to tune into your body's needs, say no without guilt, and embrace honesty with yourself and others. These aren't just ideas. They are invitations to live your best life in this sacred season. If you're ready to stop carrying unnecessary burdens and start living fully with your heart, stay with me. By the end, you'll see that after 75 is not an ending. It's a beautiful transformation. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Worrying about what others think. One of the most exhausting and unnecessary burdens many of us carry is the constant worry about what other people think of us. It's a trap that sneaks in quietly and slowly tightens its grip until it feels like we're living under a microscope, second-guessing every word we say, every decision we make, every little action we take. But here's a powerful truth that too few of us fully grasp. The reality is that most people are deeply absorbed in their own lives, their own worries, and their own challenges. They're juggling work, family, health, and their struggles, often leaving little time or mental space to scrutinize or judge someone else. This means that the opinions we fret over so much usually have far less power or significance than we imagine. I've personally struggled with this fear, wondering if I'm enough or if others are silently criticizing me. But over time, I learned that giving too much weight to others' opinions only steals my joy, my peace, and my freedom. It cages me into a narrow version of myself that's based on trying to please or avoid disapproval. And that's such a lonely place to live. When I finally started to realize that most people aren't paying as much attention as I thought, it was like a breath of fresh air. I felt lighter, freer, and more willing to take risks and express who I am. It's not about becoming careless or disregarding feedback from those who truly matter, but about recognizing that worrying about every glance, comment, or imagined judgment only holds you back from living fully. Your worth isn't determined by others' fleeting thoughts, and their judgments often say more about them than about you. Imagine how much energy you'd reclaim if you stopped giving power to those worries. Energy you could put into your passions, your relationships, and your happiness. So, my heartfelt advice is this: start small. When you catch yourself spiraling into the "what will they think" trap, remind yourself that those thoughts are just noise. Most people are busy living their own stories. And you, beautifully unique and worthy, deserve to write yours without fear or hesitation. Let go of that weight, and watch how your confidence and joy grow. 2. Chasing status or appearances. As we journey through life, something remarkable happens. Our priorities shift in ways we might not expect. The relentless chase for status or appearances that once consumed so much of our time and energy begins to fade into the background. I've witnessed this transformation in myself and countless others. What used to feel so urgent, trying to impress others, carefully crafting an image to fit in or stand out, suddenly seems hollow and exhausting. It's as if we've been carrying a heavy backpack filled with expectations that don't belong to us, and finally, we start to set it down. What truly matters now isn't how others perceive us or the applause we receive. Instead, what fills our hearts with genuine contentment is comfort. Comfort that goes far beyond physical ease. It's a deep, soul-level comfort that comes from accepting ourselves fully, flaws and all. It's waking up in the morning feeling at peace with who we are, rather than anxious about what we should be. That inner peace, the calm that settles in after years of battling self-doubt and external pressure, is priceless. It's a quiet sanctuary where our true selves can breathe freely without fear of judgment. Authenticity takes center stage. There's an incredible power in living honestly, speaking our truth, and showing up as we are, without pretending or performing. It means letting go of the masks we wore to gain approval or hide our insecurities. It's not always easy to strip away those layers, especially when society still pushes us towards certain ideals. But when we do, the freedom that follows is beyond words, a freedom that brings relief, joy, and a profound sense of belonging to ourselves. Personally, embracing this shift has been one of the most healing experiences of my life. I remember a time when I cared deeply about fitting a certain image, wearing the right clothes, saying the right things, appearing successful. But no matter how hard I tried, it never felt enough. Now, I find more happiness in simple moments. A quiet morning with a cup of tea, a genuine conversation with a close friend, or just sitting comfortably in my skin. Those moments remind me that true worth isn't measured by status or appearances. It's found in the peace we cultivate within and the courage to be authentically ourselves. If you're still caught in the race to impress, I encourage you to pause and ask yourself, what if you let go of all that? What if you permitted yourself to seek comfort, peace, and authenticity instead? It might just be the beginning of a beautiful, liberating chapter in your life. 3. Pretending to be fine when you're not. One of the most common yet deeply painful behaviors I've witnessed, especially among older adults, is the habit of pretending to be fine when inside, they're anything but. It's as if there's this invisible rule that says we must always appear strong, composed, and unshaken, no matter what storms rage inside our hearts. But carrying that mask of everything is okay can be incredibly isolating. When we suppress feelings like grief over lost loved ones, fears about the future or our health, the crushing loneliness that sometimes feels endless, or even the complicated joy that doesn't quite fit into neat categories, what we're doing is shutting ourselves off from the very connections that could bring comfort and healing. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. In my experience, and I've seen it time and again with people I care about, honesty about what we're truly feeling is the key to breaking free from that lonely prison. When someone finally says aloud, "I'm scared," or "I'm hurting," or "I'm overwhelmed," it creates an opening, an invitation for empathy and understanding. It reminds us that vulnerability is not a weakness but a courageous act of self-acceptance. It's in these moments of truth that relationships deepen, because real connection isn't built on perfect facades but on shared human experiences, even the messy, painful ones. I've known individuals who buried their sadness so deeply that it began to affect their health and spirit. Yet, when they allowed themselves to speak honestly about their struggles, something transformative happened. They discovered that grief could be softened by companionship, fear could be calmed by reassurance, and loneliness could be eased by simply being heard. Even joy, when expressed openly, multiplies and becomes a beacon of hope for others. Pretending to be fine is exhausting. It takes energy to keep up appearances, and it often leaves us feeling more alone than ever. But embracing honesty about our feelings, whether they are dark or light, opens the door to healing. It lets us reclaim our authentic selves and invites those around us to walk alongside us on the journey. If there's one truth I hold close, it's this. No matter your age or circumstances, your feelings are valid, and sharing them can be the most beautiful and healing act of all. 4. Holding on to toxic people or guilt. Holding on to toxic people or carrying the heavy burden of guilt is one of the most painful traps we can fall into as we journey through life. It's not just about keeping a relationship alive out of obligation or tradition. It's about how those ties quietly chip away at our emotional well-being day by day. Sometimes, we convince ourselves that enduring these toxic connections is a form of loyalty or love, even when they leave us feeling drained, anxious, or unworthy. Other times, the weight of guilt from past mistakes, regrets, or unresolved conflicts keeps us chained to people or memories that no longer serve us, preventing us from moving forward. From my own heart and countless stories I've encountered, I know how deeply exhausting this can be. It's like carrying around a constant shadow that dims your light and steals your peace. You might wake up feeling heavy, or lie awake at night replaying conversations that hurt, wondering if you could have done things differently. But here's the truth that's both hard and freeing. Peace and emotional health must come first. No relationship, no matter how familiar or how long-standing, should cost you your happiness or your sense of self. Choosing to let go is incredibly difficult. It means facing the discomfort of change, the fear of loneliness, and sometimes the painful process of forgiving others and ourselves. But it is in this courageous act that true healing begins. When you release toxic people or put down the crushing weight of guilt, you make space for renewal, for joy, and for healthier connections that honor and uplift you. It's a radical act of self-love to protect your heart and prioritize your emotional well-being. Remember, you are not responsible for carrying the pain or mistakes of others, nor should you sacrifice your peace to maintain appearances or out of misplaced loyalty. Embrace the strength it takes to say, "Enough," and walk away. You deserve relationships that bring light, warmth, and growth, not ones that drag you down. The path to emotional freedom starts with this one brave choice: to let go, to heal, and to choose yourself. And when you do, you'll find a peace deeper than you ever thought possible, one that nourishes your soul and sets you free. 5. Ignoring your body's messages. Ignoring your body's messages is one of the most common yet harmful mistakes we make, especially as we age. Our bodies speak to us every single day, sometimes with loud alarms like sharp pains or severe fatigue, and other times with gentle whispers such as subtle discomfort, restlessness, or mood changes. But far too often, we choose to ignore these signals. Maybe we tell ourselves that it's just part of getting older, or that we don't have time to slow down because of work, family, or endless responsibilities. I've seen many people, including close friends and family members, fall into this pattern of neglecting their body's needs, and it's truly heartbreaking. The body is not some disposable vessel. It is the most precious home we have. When we ignore its messages, we're essentially shutting out its desperate pleas for help and care. From personal experience, I can say that learning to listen to your body's subtle cues is a game changer. It's not always easy. Sometimes it requires patience, self-awareness, and a willingness to slow down in a world that constantly pushes us to go faster. But when you start paying attention, you begin to notice patterns. That ache in your joints after sitting too long, the exhaustion that doesn't go away even after a good night's sleep, or the way your mood shifts with what you eat or how much you move. These are your body's way of guiding you toward what it needs to stay strong, healthy, and vibrant. Ignoring these messages isn't just a passive mistake. It actively erodes your quality of life. When pain or discomfort is left unchecked, it can worsen, leading to chronic illnesses, mobility loss, or mental health struggles. I've witnessed seniors who regretted not listening sooner, who found themselves limited and frustrated by preventable conditions. That's why I passionately believe that honoring your body signals is one of the most empowering and loving things you can do for yourself. It's a form of self-respect, a commitment to your well-being, and a foundation for longevity. So, if there's one takeaway I hope you hold on to today, it's this: don't wait for a crisis or a wake-up call to start listening. Your body's messages, whether big or small, are valuable guidance. Treat them as whispers of wisdom from within, and respond with kindness, care, and action. This mindful attention can transform your life, helping you move through each day with more energy, confidence, and joy. You deserve nothing less than to thrive, not just survive. And it all begins with truly hearing your body and honoring what it needs. 6. saying yes to everything. It's incredibly common, especially as we grow older and life becomes more complex, to find ourselves saying yes to everything. And I mean everything. Whether it's a friend asking for a favor, a family member needing support, or a community event that sounds nice to attend, we often push ourselves to agree without hesitation. At first, it might feel like a way to stay connected, to be helpful, or simply to avoid disappointing others. But over time, this habit of constantly saying yes can become a heavy weight on your shoulders. It can silently erode your energy, steal away your precious moments of rest, and chip away at the peace you desperately need for your mental and physical health. I've witnessed many people, and experienced it myself, how this relentless yes mentality leads to burnout. You start to feel stretched thin, exhausted, and even resentful, not because of the people asking, but because you never pause to consider your own needs. Saying no doesn't mean you are being rude or uncaring. On the contrary, it's a brave and necessary act of self-care. It's about recognizing that your time, your rest, and your emotional well-being are just as important as anyone else's requests or expectations. When you say no, you are protecting the things that truly sustain you: your health, your peace of mind, your joy. It allows you to focus on what matters to you, to invest your energy where it counts, and to show up fully and authentically in the moments you choose. It's okay to put yourself first sometimes. In fact, it's vital. The freedom that comes with setting healthy boundaries brings a deep sense of relief and empowerment that many never experience because they've been conditioned to believe otherwise. So, the next time you feel the urge to say yes just to keep the peace or avoid conflict, remember this: your no is a gift to yourself. It's an invitation to reclaim your time, honor your needs, and create a life where you feel balanced, respected, and whole. Saying no is not about shutting people out. It's about opening a space where you can breathe, heal, and thrive. 7. Putting off joyful experiences. Putting off joyful experiences, waiting endlessly for the right time, the perfect circumstances, or some future moment when everything seems aligned, has become a habit that many of us unknowingly fall into, especially as we get older. But honestly, this way of thinking no longer makes any sense. Life is unpredictable and often shorter than we expect, and joy is not just a fleeting luxury or something to be earned later. It is an essential, nourishing part of what it means to be alive. I've witnessed, in myself and others, how easy it is to push aside happiness, telling ourselves that there will be a better day, a less busy time, or that we need to finish certain tasks before allowing ourselves to relax and enjoy. We postpone the small pleasures, the shared laughter with friends, a quiet moment watching the sunset, the simple delight of a favorite meal, because we think they're not urgent or important enough. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. But here's the truth. Those moments of joy are what give life its richness and meaning. They are not distractions from responsibility. They are the very reason we endure challenges and hardships. When we delay joy, we risk living a life half-lived, burdened by regrets for the happiness we denied ourselves. I feel deeply that joy is a form of self-respect, a gift we give ourselves that renews our energy, heals emotional wounds, and reminds us of the beauty still present in the world, even on the hardest days. I've learned that embracing joy, no matter how small or fleeting, is like planting seeds of hope inside our hearts. It encourages us to keep going, to connect with others more deeply, and to find gratitude in everyday moments. So rather than waiting for someday, I urge you, and myself, to make space for joy right now. Celebrate your victories, no matter how minor. Seek out those experiences that bring a smile to your face and warmth to your soul. Life deserves nothing less than that. After all, isn't it better to look back with a heart full of beautiful memories than a life shadowed by, "I wish I had"? 8. Keeping the house too full of physical clutter. Keeping the house too full of physical clutter can feel like carrying around invisible baggage every single day. It's more than just stuff scattered around. It's the weight of memories, the anxiety of decisions postponed, and sometimes the fear of letting go. For many people, especially as we grow older, our homes become filled with things that tell our stories. Old clothes, forgotten gifts, stacks of papers, broken gadgets, and knickknacks we once treasured. But over time, all this accumulation can start to close in on us, shrinking the emotional space we so desperately need for peace and comfort. I believe that our living environment deeply influences our mental and emotional well-being. When a room is cluttered, it's hard to truly relax or feel grounded. The eyes constantly catch reminders of unfinished business or things that don't serve us anymore. This ongoing visual noise can create subtle stress that wears on the heart, leaving us feeling restless or overwhelmed even when we want to unwind. Imagine coming home after a long day, and instead of feeling relief, your mind races because of the mess surrounding you. It's exhausting. Simplifying your environment isn't just a practical chore, it's a meaningful journey towards reclaiming your inner calm. By intentionally clearing out the excess, you create space for what truly matters. That open space becomes a canvas for your thoughts, a sanctuary where your spirit can breathe, and a place that invites comfort rather than chaos. It's a gentle reminder that life doesn't have to be complicated to be fulfilling. I've experienced the profound relief that comes from decluttering. There was a time when every corner of my home felt overcrowded, and I didn't realize how much it affected my mood and energy. Taking the first step to let go, starting with just a drawer or a single shelf, felt intimidating, almost like losing a part of my past. But with each item I released, I felt lighter, freer, and more connected to the present moment. The process taught me that holding on to things out of habit or fear often prevents us from embracing peace. If you're struggling with clutter, remember you're not alone, and it's okay to start small. Whether it's donating clothes you no longer wear, recycling old papers, or simply organizing one drawer, every little action counts. Over time, these small acts of clearing create a ripple effect, making your home a place of refuge, your mind a place of clarity, and your heart a place of ease. Letting go of physical clutter is really about making room for yourself, your joy, your rest, and your peace. It's a kind, loving gift you can give to your own life. 9. Staying silent about what truly matters. This is a quiet struggle that many of us face, especially as we grow older. I have often noticed how people, even those closest to us, tend to retreat into silence about the things that weigh heaviest on their hearts. Whether it's unspoken feelings, unshared dreams, or difficult truths, the silence can become a barrier, one that isolates us when what we need is connection. In my experience, staying silent isn't just about words left unsaid. It's about the missed opportunities to be truly understood and loved for who we are. When we hold back our genuine feelings and thoughts, we deprive not only ourselves but also those around us of the chance to share in our authentic journey. Relationships thrive on honesty and vulnerability, yet so many people fear that speaking their truth might bring judgment, conflict, or rejection. But ironically, it is the silence, the withholding, that creates distance and misunderstanding. I've seen this happen too many times in my own life and in the lives of those I care about. I've watched loved ones struggle in loneliness because they felt unheard or unseen. It's heartbreaking to realize that something as simple, yet as powerful, as opening up and expressing what truly matters can make all the difference. It takes incredible bravery to break through the silence, especially when you feel vulnerable or unsure if your voice will be welcomed. But here's the truth I hold on to, and I want you to hear it too. Your voice matters. Your feelings are valid. Your stories, your wisdom, and your unique perspective are gifts that deserve to be shared. Speaking your truth is an act of self-respect and self-love. It invites others in, building trust and deepening bonds. And importantly, it creates a legacy, a living memory of who you were, what you stood for, and the lessons you passed on. Think about the people who have touched your life most deeply. Often, it's those who dared to be honest and open, who shared their triumphs and their vulnerabilities, who didn't shy away from the hard conversations. They left behind more than memories. They left behind a blueprint for courage and connection. When we choose silence, we risk losing that chance, not just for ourselves, but for future generations. So, I urge you, don't let fear or doubt keep you silent. Even if your voice shakes, even if your story isn't perfect, speak what's in your heart. It might start with a small step, a single sentence to a trusted friend or family member. But over time, that courage will grow, and you'll find that expressing what truly matters becomes a source of healing and strength. Remember, your truth is a light in the darkness. Sharing it is a gift to yourself, to others, and to the legacy you leave behind in this world. Don't let silence steal that from you. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen and reflect with me today. I hope this message about the power of speaking your truth and not staying silent about what truly matters has touched your heart. Now, I want to hear from you. What is one important thing you've learned so far that resonates deeply with you? Is there something you're inspired to bring into your life, to finally express or share with those you love? Please take a moment to leave a comment below sharing your thoughts or the one lesson you'll put into practice. Your story might just inspire someone else who needs to hear it. And if you found value in this video, please don't forget to like, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more heartfelt conversations and guidance. Together, we can build a community where everyone feels heard, valued, and connected. Thank you again, and I look forward to reading your comments.